Amazing morning and welcome to Ways Breakfast, hashtag What Are You Saying? The ultimate breakfast show for young and vibrant minds like us. It's still our New Year series, and trust me when I say we have a packed show for you this year. On Ways, we dive into thought-provoking conversations on politics and national interest, trending issues and social commentary, physical and mental wellness, tech trends and innovation, financial literacy, and of course, youth empowerment. Today, we'll be taking you through wellness and self-care for this new year. You can tune in every Monday morning to Friday for a fresh perspective, engaging discussions, and inspiring stories. I am your anchor, Okikiola Taiwo Jalukmo, and I welcome you to the show, especially as your host. And you know I'm never here alone. I'm here with my ever-present ladies sometimes. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Okiki. Good morning, Luchi.
I love your jumpsuit this morning. Like, it's giving
Thank you
angel,
so much.
it's giving beauty.
It's giving beauty,
And then
God's
with the makeup,
beauty.
the shiny lip that
Lips,
is
right?
popping out. So it's like I'm staring at
I can't say the
my
same
work,
for
oh.
Oluchi though, because it's almost like
It's
she
giving
came
like
here
I'm going to sign a contract.
I
a
beg.
$10 million
It's wait
contract.
first. It's giving. Come and buy this land with those shoes that the mouth has opened. And they say that I have a job for you that will change your life. But in
I
reality,
believe it's given, power woman vibe.
Come
I'm about
on.
to sign a $30 million contract.
Amen, someone.
I'm about to do
and
that.
buy the car.
Yes, exactly.
Benz.
So how was your journey this morning to the office?
I
Tell me.
want to tell a very brief story. Are you ready to listen?
My ears are itching.
So now, I was in this bus commuting to work, right? And then somebody just entered. I was sitting in front. The person that entered was playing this very loud music, I think from his radio on phone.
Okay.
And you know what I did? I just looked back. One stern look. And what shocked me was that the person understood the language and
Of
immediately
course.
reduced the volume. And I felt so proud of myself that, yes, that my mommy look, my Yoruba mommy
You
look
just
is already
passed on
coming
it.
to play and you can understand. Because I think that in 2025, people should learn public etiquette, know how to behave in public places.
Yeah.
You do not need to know how your ringtone sounds. You don't need to know what you're playing on Instagram or TikTok or even your phone calls.
I mean, that's why
it is
earpods are there.
annoying. Honestly,
Me,
so
I think that's why I don't like ringtones, because I just feel like it doesn't matter what kind of music it is. I always get tired. Like, don't tell me. And some people now have this weird ringtone that is just going to do, and then you're like,
And like, what's going on?
what's going on
you
here?
need so much attention. Some people just want to use that road trip to calm their nerves,
Yeah.
just understand what's happening in
Yeah.
their life, and you are playing. I just
Especially
looked at
in
the
the
brother
morning.
like this. He just comported
But in their
himself.
defense, what if loud music calms them?
What do you mean?
Sure.
It's public place etiquette. So it's not about
Yeah.
just
It's
you
not just
now,
about you,
but the
true,
environment.
True. I agree.
Okay, what about you guys?
I think it was a smooth ride for me because I literally, so there's this normal, I think we're talking about awareness, right? I mean, there's this normal habit that I'm trying to form, or let's say it's on ground now. So where I wake up very, very early in the morning, I'm doing like, jogging, doing some little home exercise and all of that. So yeah, that's literally how
That
every
is
of my
sounding
mornings
like
is
judgment to me. Because how many
Ah.
times have I made reservation to do workouts and
Oh,
go to
okay.
the gym? No, I can't go to the gym. Let's not even lie about that.
True,
With my work,
true.
which time do I want to go? Is it
That's
by
the
3
thing.
a.m.?
That's why I just decided that, okay, immediately I
But
wake
at
up
least
every
one
morning
workout
doing it, yes.
will work better for you. Me this morning,
The Lord is your strength.
bus drivers, you guys are testing me. I need to let people know that I take bus. But the fact that people will now stress me after I struggle to get to work is evil. It's evil. People should
Welcome
learn.
to Lagos. I think that's part of
Officially.
I've always been in Lagos.
Lagosian.
And I also mentioned that I'm a Lagosian. So I don't
Yeah.
really know how it is
is other
elsewhere.
places, yeah.
Unless maybe I've gone to places and I've seen that there's a bit of smooth road, this, that. But other than that, Lagos is all I've ever known. So the traffic is like a user thing for me. But I don't know how I will know if I will never get used to the things that bus drivers and conductors can do to you, especially when they open their armpits when you're sitting by the
Hey,
doctor.
the Lord is
So
your
go there, please.
But I mean, today we're going to be talking about wellness, and that's what we do every Wednesday on this show. They're meant for conversations around general wellness, mental health, and the likes. But first, if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe now at Official Upgrade TV. Click the subscribe button, like now. Like and share the link. But before we go on a break, I want to ask the audience, what does wellness and self-care mean to you? We'll be back right after the headlines across the globe. Stay with us. Glad to have you back from that break. Now let's just take a look at the news from the pages of today's newspaper. Today we have the Punch, the Vanguard, and of course the New York Times. Today we'll be starting with the Punch newspaper.
Great. Let's see what the Punch has for us. The very major headline reads, Bandit influx. Task force meets as Amotekun police tighten southwest boundaries. Oyo security chiefs hold closed-door meetings in Ibadan, Ondo, Osun, and others review strategies. Tinubu calls for Africa's unity. Obasanjo, Zuma attend Mahama's inauguration. PDP defers as Okpebolo accuses local government chairs of 12 billion naira diversion. Romance scam. 2 US-based Nigerians face 40-year jail term. On Stampede, we see Oni's ex-queen and others allege illegal detention. Oyo opposes bail. Above the major headline, on Forex story, we see food crisis likely as northern farmers opt for export. Tax reforms, northern elders, governors maintain oppositions as senators lobby. Forex allocation for fuel imports rise to $1.25 billion. Threat to life, Atiku, Labour Party carpet Tinubu, APC lampoons Obi. And that's the story I have for the Punch. I'll just talk very briefly on this food crisis story, the headlines that is on the Punch this morning. We know that last year was a roller coaster for us when it comes to food pricing, how things just kept increasing, and it seemed as though there is no way it's going to come down. And we know there's this usual quote in Nigeria where it says that once food gets this particular price, even when things start getting better,
the law of gravity does not.
It does
not apply to Nigerians.
And to think of the fact that food, I mean, feeding is a very basic necessity for us. So it's been very crazy this past few months and years. And now we're seeing that the people that supply us this food are about to now opt for other means to be able to meet their own needs as well. And we're looking at exports. So there's this prediction that food crisis will still continue because northern farmers are looking at exporting to other neighboring countries for exchange of dollar or something like that. So imagine.
And then somehow they get more profit. I think I saw one.
Every man for himself.
I saw one video where the 1 cup of gari is being sold for something in South Africa, and then the equivalent is about 6,000 naira for just 1 cup of gari here in Nigeria. So I'm just like, okay, obviously, if I see that kind of video, I'm thinking, how do I export my gari products to South Africa rather than selling to people here that will still be
a strain for your own country.
But then I don't know. That's why they're saying that they want to think about their own needs now, because they want to make more money.
And to be fair, during this time last year, there are a lot of things that we heard about the farmers in the northern area. How, I mean, those hoodlums went to their places, their farms, destroyed their farms, collected their bags of rice. So if this is like another way for them to make, ends meet and to cover up for their losses, I don't see how.
Yeah. So that means we should be able to brace up and expect more influx in the prices of goods and services.
Because to be honest, it is not their fault 100%. If you are in a country where security,
as well as us, I would say
do you understand? That's one. Then secondly, you're in a country where security is not taken like very seriously. Do you understand? You need to. I'm beginning of reading the newspapers as of last year. You would see all the problem that they went through to the extent that they were about to go on a strike. So if you not see a better means of making money, tell me why you will not jump on it.
And honestly, on a surface level, export is not supposed to be something that should cause us strain, because
if there's regulation, because now when they're talking about export,
it actually helps the economy. So if it can be regulated well, it will be a win-win for both parties.
Yes, exactly. Please, let's go till they're abroad.
All right, so there's really nothing much going here, except the fact that, they have officially given our honorable
Donald
Trump.
Yes,
they've given him, the seat now. I mean, all the informal things, everything is well taken care of. But there's something that they pointed out, which is something that I like. The fact that now that he has been put into seat officially now, there's no problem. Nobody is accusing anybody of election rigging and all of that. And what the interesting part? Last 2024, right? During the time where Biden won and he lost us at that time, there was a lot of, from his party to the Bidens, that's Republicans to the Democrats, there were a lot of, I'm very sure Biden must have paid some people, there must have been election rigging and all of that. And do you know the interesting part? According to the history, it said that during that whole fight and all of that, the accusation, that was like the first time that's happening in the US. And now that there's son of power, thank God that they've given him. Now he's not saying anything around there's anybody that did election. And I like the way Kamala just took this with, you know, peaceful. She just passed it on and she's like, okay, I mean, there's this, I get it that, okay, it's not my time yet. Probably I'll run again. So there's no, it's just peaceful. And I like it because, but I feel like it's something that we here in Nigeria, we also have an issue with. I mean, just which they, except exactly, does this, I don't know if it's the Edo governor or something that we saw in I don't know, he went to church one time to give testimonies and all, and you need to see the comment section. When the Oga said that, all thanks to God and the church that, you know, he's doing well now, he was able to get, you know, the seat and all of that. But people, almost every Nigerian in the comment section, you're like, Oga, we know what you did. It's not Jehovah that gave you that seat. It's really, I'm like, God, I beg. So it's just very funny. And I honestly speaking, I think that's just it for me on the newspaper, is the fact that, you know, Camilla just allowed it go. Even though it's obvious. Yeah, it was, even if it's obvious that our Trump literally got higher. I mean, the one that we saw, we don't know whether there's anything at the back. We cannot tell.
Maybe we should ask this Trump period.
Abby, there's nothing behind.
So there's nothing behind. Of course, you'll say there's nothing behind. But yeah, that's it for me on the New York Times.
Okay, quickly taking us through the Vanguard newspaper. The headline reads, "How lack of power, water, and japa degrades health sector." Exodus, shortage of healthcare workers persists. Healthcare system faces challenges in service delivery due to accountability issues. Lack of funds for healthcare remains big problem. Government's ability to equip hospitals, buy essential medicines and supplies, run effective public health programs remain limited. Below that, we have article, Labour Party blast APC, says Obi. "I didn't threaten your life. Stop telling lies," APC spokesman tells Obi. Below that, we have livestock development. "Heathers can't afford ranches," says Miyetti Allah. Another story reads, "We will lift our people out of poverty," Tinubu says at Mahama's inauguration. Another story here says, "Nigeria at moderate risk of human metapneumovirus." I don't know if I pronounced that well. Metapneumovirus, says NCDC. The last but not the least story here says, "How corruption allegations led to suspension of LG chairman," says Okpebolo. I mean, I have two stories here that catches my attention, and that's first, the headers that cannot afford ranches. I think at some point we're talking about where this open grazing was an issue. You can bring like this herd of cows, you just go into your farm or whatever and start eating whatever plant maybe you have suffered to cultivate. And then they brought up the idea of why don't people now buy ranches so that there's now regulation with where your livestock can feed. But these are people who have no education, who only know that give birth, I take you somewhere you eat. They don't want to invest in maybe buying feed for their cattle or whatever. So when Miyetti Allah is saying that they cannot afford ranches, so what other solution can there be to manage open grazing? There are a lot of people that have died from this issue. So what if you were going to give like a solution, what do you think should be done?
If they cannot afford ranches and their animals, livestock begin to eat other people's plants, the owners of those plants should kill those animals and eat it in return.
Because in reality, that's part of what is causing food crisis. When I know that I've planted something for a year and all of a sudden one cow has gone to chew everything.
That's your cow that ate my plant to bring it over here.
But then that can also cause death. So it's just like they need to find like a balance. If you're going to have livestock,
it might start with maybe not going to meet these headers themselves personally, maybe in communities, because the community leaders are the next direct authorities that you can meet to help regulate this, because we're talking about illiterates. How best do you want to so if you go through those community leaders, they know how to now pass across the information to them and everybody will work together.
So when Tinubu says we will lift our people out of poverty,
I believe in
nice one.
hope. That's the thing. I believe him. Please go ahead.
All of those things that he said last year about it's going to bring in people, the youth, right? And it's going to employ people that will
youth
come together.
confab, I think.
Yes. No saying that you talk say that thing go hold. Afana.
It has not held.
It doesn't. You do not
You
know.
were not there.
Wait, you do not know.
You were not there. I'll send you the recording.
Nice one.
Are you serious?
Your dreams, yeah?
This is just a funny thing, but then let's
It's funny or not funny at
let's
the same
stick to
time.
what Oluchi has said, and is that we believe him. You must believe
Now let me
him.
tell you one reason
I
why
must-
Nigerians.
I want to
Let
take
me-
that,
must
but we need to
believe
go on a
him.
break right now.
But I would like to tell you
no,
this
go
thing.
on your status and tell Nigerians what they need to
See,
know.
we're going through a lot as
Let
a
us
country,
go
so
on a
listening
break.
to just hope
Honestly,
that is just
calm
flying
down.
up and down might make
Please
you
let
agitated.
us go on a break
But
right now,
don't
and
give
then
up.
when we return, Oluchi, wait now. When we return, we'll come back with our topic for today, which is wellness and self-care in the new year. Stay with us.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light for my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we'll analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
Welcome back to the show. As mentioned earlier, we're talking wellness, self-care, and what you can do differently or adopt in this 2025. Let's start with dissecting the different categories of wellness. For one, we have physical wellness, which involves exercises, sleep, nutrition, and hydration. We have mental wellness that involves mindfulness, gratitude, self-compassion, and boundary setting. Emotional wellness involves emotional awareness, social connection, self-reflection, and self-care rituals. We also have digital wellness that involves screen time limits, online boundaries, digital detox, and digital organization. Well, I know my co-anchors already have comment buzzings on their mind, but let me quickly include self-care practices so that we can get a holistic look into the conversation. Self-care practice is quite self-explanatory. It involves journaling, meditation, yoga to cultivate flexibility, balance, and inner peace. We also have creative expressions or creative activities such as painting, drawing, writing, or photography to express yourself and tap into your imagination. Remember, wellness and self-care are not a one-size-fits-all, so it's important to experiment with different practices to find what works best for you and your unique needs. But I don't know if everybody has started commenting on what wellness means to them and self-care, but I'll ask my co-anchors first. So, Oluchi and God's Beauty, what does wellness mean to you and self-care?
Very deep. It's deep because as I'm answering this question in my mind, I'm like, really, don't be a hypocrite. While at this stage where sometimes we know some things and because we're not effectively doing them, it makes you feel like, can I actually be can I speak authoritatively about such things? But
Right.
of course, we do know the things that we ought to do. And concerning wellness and physical, what do you call it again? Physical wellness and all of that. Some of the things I want to start inculcating this 2025 has to really be my health. I don't know if you remember last year, I mentioned that I had a lot of sickness episodes here and there, and there are things that could have been avoided. Do you understand? Simple things like good hydration, simple things like eating properly, simple things like not skipping meals, you know, living in a conducive environment. If you know that you stay in a place where you're prone to be bitten by mosquitoes, you know malaria is knocking on your door. Especially if you know, I think they say this thing about genotype that makes you prone to some of these things. So our health is, my health, let me be very personal now, is something I want to take super serious this 2025. Because in 2024, the times where I was sick, I remember I just resumed final year in school and I was sick. I don't even know how it happened. I felt like, why should I even fall sick at this point? And I remember going to the hospital and in fact, they even gave me one injection, I remember, that made me not walk for some minutes. I was so scared. I was thinking that, paralysis has already happened. Jesus, save me. And eventually did wear out and I was okay again. And I went back to the same routine, always eating junk food, not eating healthy. Do you get it? Because as students, you can feel like, I don't have enough time to cook. I don't have enough time to go to the market to buy
enough money and
vegetables.
they just do.
But you know that enough money thing is a very big lie. Because you say you don't have enough money to cook healthy. The junks you buy is equivalent to what you can use to cook
right?
that small vegetable soup.
True.
And eat with your swallow that your mama has already given you. Do you understand? So it boils down to discipline. Remember I mentioned discipline last year, and this year one very major physical wellness tip I want to do is to take care of my health. And how would that be done? By watching what I eat. I noticed I did do a tracker and I realized that my carbohydrate intake was a bit more than other ones
Which
that
is somehow normal.
yeah, it's normal, but sometimes if you're not paying attention to the proteins and the vitamins that you take, it's going to cause issues for you later.
That's why they will
long-term,
advise
yeah.
that you
Exactly.
eat balanced
When
diet.
Nigeria, what food do we have? Rice ebayam, rice ebayam, rice. I remember this TikTok sound. I don't chop eba.
God,
Every time I listen, I'm like, this is me. I don't chop eba tire because that's like the go-to food. It's just something simple. If you're African, chop eba. I mean, when I went to the East, we chop eba tire. But that's it. So I want to inculcate more proteins into my, like deliberately ensure that you are eating the eggs, the meat. They say the cheapest protein that you can get is eggs, right?
Yeah.
Or eggs. And put it into your food. Take a lot of fruits. It was one time that I felt very ill that they said something happened to my blood count or something. That I started taking my fruit intake seriously. After a few months, I went back to not taking it again. I'm like, what is really wrong with you? If you want, see, no matter what you want to achieve, if your health keeps deteriorating, you even lose the confidence to want to go for your drinks because you're overwhelmed by how well I feel.
Yeah.
So basically, that's it.
Okay, what about you, God's Beauty?
So let me start with all the things I heard last year. So there are a lot of, God's Beauty, you don't eat in the morning. God's Beauty, take care of, make sure you're not serious with your breakfast and all of this. And you don't take your breakfast serious and all. So the thing is, I will start from the previous years, right? I've always had issues with, I think there was a time in my life where I was not feeling well and I had to like run a test and all, and they couldn't get blood from my body. Yeah. So when that happened, it was there I knew that, okay, I have to start taking my health serious. So the truth is, because I don't take breakfast or I don't have breakfast, doesn't mean that I don't eat properly. I try, you see this whole fruit thing, there are weeks that I go on just fruit. Maybe that's why I'm
Fruit
still
diet.
the way I am. Yeah. So I just, there are some weeks that I just stay with only fruit. There are some days that, I think that and it's something that happens like very regular actually. And because I'm not really like a food person.
Okay.
That's the honest truth. I'm not really like a food person.
But is it right though?
I really don't know. I actually eat based on mood or appetite. And so what I do is to ensure that whatever I'm putting into my mouth is something that would always help me. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm not a fan of eba. I would go for it. And I'm not a fan of all of those plenty soup. I'll just go for oha or egusi. Do you get? So with these things, I already know what I want to eat. So even when I am not feeling like eating, right? I know that, okay, you have to eat this. And that's because I just have that, craving for it somehow. Do you get what I'm saying? Then then back to the whole carbohydrate, protein, and all of these things. I ensure that, probably that's why I don't eat. So I try as much as possible to not eat. Maybe one of the time, maybe lunch or maybe, dinner. But I ensure that the other times I'm eating, I've already incorporate some of those vitamins and all of those things into
Necessary
it.
nutrients.
Yeah, necessary nutrients into it. So, I would say last year, I kind of take care of my health physically and, otherwise.
Except breakfast.
I don't know about
Well, I wanted to say, when you were talking about inculcating the vitamins and minerals that you need, he sort of left the idea that you need to have, like, on a daily basis, there's an amount of calories that you should take
okay.
every day. So if you skip breakfast and probably skip dinner and you take lunch and you try to inculcate all these vitamins.
You just take one. So it's either you're taking breakfast and, dinner or lunch and dinner.
Why do I feel like our audience should not take health advice tips
I know, because I'm trying to think about how I want to do this thing.
How
And
do
then
you
I'm
want to
like,
incorporate all the calories you need for just that one
that's
for
like
lunch
eating,
or dinner?
I think there's this rule that they said, eat like a prince in the morning,
Okay.
eat like a king in the afternoon, and eat like a pauper at night.
So like the
so I
ratio
get
is
it.
balanced.
The ratio, yeah.
So tell me how you want to advise somebody to. So these are part of the issues. You need to know that is an issue. And even if you don't take breakfast, you need to know that, okay, I need this amount of calories in a day. How do I split it into 3 meals? So that then you know that your body too is not lacking somehow. Because now it's about the mind. Your mind will tell you that you are not hungry. You understand? And then you go through the morning, and then afternoon comes, and you're like, let me just eat something light.
I think
and then inculcate all the
I
vitamins.
think most of the times I actually end up eating brunch instead of lunch. So I think
English,
yeah.
English, brunch, lunch. The truth is that you don't
way
chop.
earlier. No. And like I said before, I ensure that whatever I'm eating has all the nutrients in it. So somehow, my food is balanced. Diet.
But is your calories complete?
We need a medical practitioner to comment and tell
I
God's beauty what you've been
think
trying
we
to
have to
communicate.
start with. I think because also you're also trying to watch your weight and all of these things too. So you have to take those things into consideration as well. In as much as you want to eat, make sure that you have the right calories.
Do you know that you
Let
can
me
be
tell you-
thin? You can be thin and actually be overweight. Do you know?
If it's about
Because you can
watching-
have fat around your organs rather than on your body. So you can actually be thin and be overweight. So it's not really because you are chubby. That's what means losing weight. But I want us to talk about physical wellness. We're talking about food intake. What's that one thing that you're doing differently and you think that people should also adopt this 2025? I think you already mentioned home workouts and exercises. But Oluchi, what are you doing differently this 2025 as regards physical wellness?
Resting. And I'm not talking about sleeping. I realize that there's a difference between
Of course.
resting and sleeping. So it's
course.
not necessarily just dozing off and you're snoring, but just cutting away the noise in the environment, from your phones, from different responsibilities that you have, and just come to understand, reflect on your inner thoughts, right? And there was this thing I saw on someone's page one time that said that some people, it's as if they are scared of their own inner thoughts, that they like to be
Loneliness.
consumed with noise activities.
Mm.
Speaking about extroverts, I'm like, sometimes just even know what really goes on in my mind. And so I think I want to do a lot of resting at this period so that I can really, because I want to be wiser. And I know the only one way I can be wiser is if I
Staying
can
quiet.
be calmer. Yes, wise people are usually calm people. So if
That's
they are
the truth.
up and doing, you're always having something to say. I mean, with our work, we are very noisy. With this our work, we're always talking and commenting and saying different things that are happening. But at some point, we need to also rest, reflect on our inner thoughts. Some people will call this meditation.
Yeah,
But
that's
sometimes
what
it's
it
just, and that rest, what people need to know is that you must not mistake rest for scrolling time. Some can think, I'm resting, I just want to rest, and you're scrolling through Instagram. That is already a lot of activities for your brain and for your mind. So that rest will not be accomplished. So you can rest, even with music. I do not advise rest with music. That is still a distraction with your brain. Rest with absolute silence. That means you should not be scared of the silence. Sit down one place.
I'm very
I know it's
scared
not a
of
Nigerian
silence,
thing, Yes,
I am
it's not a
extremely
Nigerian
scared of
thing.
silence. And I think that because I think few times when we have gone home together, you know that my mind is always walked up doing something. I might just be going and then I see this light and I'm like, why is this light even yellow? And then I just occupy my mind with why there's a yellow light, what wiring they would have done inside to make the light yellow. And then when Oluchi asked me, what are you thinking? I'm like, if I tell you, you just find it very weird. She's like, tell me. I'm like, that light is yellow. I don't know why.
She said yesterday that she's wondering what's under the water at the third mainland. Let me throw you inside, you find out.
No, I just thought about it and I was like, and then my mind started separating the water so that I can have like
a picture of
what is down, if it's grass, if
But
it's
who knows if it's
stones,
your
if it's
innovative
fishes.
self that is being born from that. Right?
But then is that really rest? If I know that my mind is always occupied trying to do something.
You're not used to doing it consistently. That's why your mind is finding different things to occupy with.
true,
Once it becomes
true.
a consistent routine, you find out that you'll be calm even in
peace.
your rest.
Okay,
True.
so let me say that now what I'm going to adopt this 2025 is resting more without thinking about anything.
It can happen. Just
I think
rest.
one way to do that is by closing
Manifestation.
your eyes, actually.
If I close my eyes, I'm seeing bridges, London bridges falling down. I promise you. If I close my eyes, that's why sometimes I sort of avoid the dark. Not because I'm scared of the dark. It's just that, you know, all those curtains. I start
imagining.
I start creating images with curtains. It's just like when I'm outside too and I'm looking at the sky. I'm thinking about so many. I'm creating something with the clouds
Maybe
and
for
everything.
someone like you that has multiple thoughts, for rest, I will not tell you something that is unrealistic. Maybe you can streamline your thoughts. You can rest and just have one thought in mind. Maybe your son or your husband for people that are married, or maybe one course that you did, or maybe one food. That can help to be bringing your mind together gradually.
Okay. Let me just pick that. So now we are talking about meditation. That's one thing that a lot of people don't do. They don't know how to meditate. For example, I raise my hand. I talk to myself directly. I don't know how to necessarily meditate. I used to do yoga about, I think, 5-6 years ago. I used to enjoy yoga
Yoga
a
is the one
lot.
you do on a mat, right?
Yeah.
Yes, not necessarily a mat. You can even do it on a bare floor because sometimes yoga is not all about sitting on the floor. Meditation is not all about sitting on the floor. But most of the time, as I said, just because my mind is always worked up thinking about something, I struggle to focus on one thing. So when I finished thinking about how one car was looking fine in the afternoon, and I started thinking about all the other ugly cars that I saw. So it's just like my mind is going from there, it goes into food. From there, it goes into the air. It just keeps diverting into many things. So have you ever meditated first, and did meditation work for you, or it's like a far-fetched idea?
I mean, I'm looking at this meditation and I'm looking at the rest I've said. It's looking
Exactly,
similar to me.
So this is what I think happens to me. Yeah. Most of the times where I'm trying to concentrate on something or I'm trying to achieve something, right? I actually get those things based on, you know, the rest or the meditation I've done or I've made. See, when you're talking about the fact that you're thinking about a lot of things, I think we should concentrate more on, you know, we talked about goals on Monday, right? All of the things you want to do. I feel like those are the times that's what I actually do. So if, for example, if I am thinking of, okay, I want to get phone, for example, during that time where I am quiet, everywhere is quiet, this is me just sitting down and I'm thinking, I'm literally seeing it, okay, so what am I doing? It's more like there's a computer in front of me. I don't know how it works for every other person, but for me, it looks like, okay, there's a computer in front of me and I'm saying, okay, this is how much my salary is and this is what, okay, so this is it here. This is what I should do. And trust me, I am actually very quiet. Everywhere is calm. Well, that's the only thing I'm concentrating on. And guess what? The solution that I need would actually come out. Most of the times where I am thinking, okay, I'm cracking my head, what exactly do I do to Gossip Gala? What can I do to ensure that the show gets better? What should, my host quality should look like and all of these things. Trust me, the times where I get the best of answers are times where I'm just sitting quiet and I'm thinking about it. Okay, Gossip Gala, what do we do to this, right? What kind of guest do I get? How do I even get guests? Those are where I get my answers.
So is that not also necessarily working up? Because what you are saying now is that you think about work. That's your own way of getting things done. What about if their work?
So,
I think we have discussed overstimulation at work and all of this.
The truth is, we are wired differently, right? I've said this so many times. My own kind of rest is like I am working. I consider my work as rest. So that's how, like, there's just somehow.
Well, I already mentioned that
together,
it's not a one-size-fits-all thing, but We need to go on a break right now. And when we come back, we'll be talking about emotional awareness, screen time, healthy ways you can, keep fit, be mindful, have meditation, do yoga and all of that stuff. So don't go anywhere. Stay with us and also comment on whatever it is that we're talking about right now. See you in a jiffy.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light for my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we will bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we will analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
Welcome back to the show. So today's topic is about wellness and self-care for the new year. We've had so much conversations around physical wellness, mental wellness. Now we're going to emotional awareness. A lot of people do not agree that somewhere, somehow, maybe their mental health or they're not emotionally aware or intelligent. Some people find that an insult when you say, oh, your emotional intelligence is a bit low. I think you need to be more aware about how emotional you can get, maybe to situations, maybe to circumstances and stuff. So I want us to all talk about and look at how emotional awareness and intelligence is important to like our overall wellness. So Godspeed, let me start with you. Yes. Why do you think, are you emotionally aware of yourself, or do you consider emotional intelligence as something that's unnecessary?
I think emotional intelligence is how you'll be able to relate with other persons as well. So yes, I am emotionally aware of my space, wherever I am, people around me, and all of these things. I made mention of the fact that, was it yesterday we were talking about it, or on Monday, where I was saying before now, there's always this agreement with people that, oh, Godspeed can be rude, that I don't say certain things and all of that. And I get to understand that, okay, the way I would actually say things, oftentimes people perceive it in a different way. And that's why most of the time you have to either be quiet and, I think emotional intelligence just falls on, the way you relate to people as well, what you think, the kind of things you say. I remember having a conversation with someone yesterday, and I was trying to defend myself and telling the person that, Oga, I'm a very blunt person. And not until we went to go and check what blunt means properly, because I think most people don't even know what it is. The thing is
just like when you mentioned brunch, I just say English, you go finish.
You get
supper. Chop if you want chop.
And you get. So, and not until we went to check it, and it's more like when you're intentionally being impolite about something. So it's either most of the times you just keep quiet. When you know that, okay, this would actually hurt the person, or the person would feel a certain way about it, just keep quiet about it. So.
Okay, what about you?
Well, not to overblow my trumpet or blow my trumpet, I think that in recent times, I've gotten more emotionally intelligent. And the reason why I can track it and say so is because I've become more self-aware. Who is very self-aware. We have pictured how some particular situation or environment is not playing out that way. So intelligence will be that you will now find a way to adjust and work with that environment so that there is no friction or tension from both parties. So something that we're going to say something.
Well, you've spoken about environment and to the outside. What about like self? Like managing self-emotions, like when you know that you're facing a very difficult time. Yes, you have read the room, you have managed the space of it. What about yourself?
So my friend used to say something. She said that sometimes when she notices that, she said that sometimes when she notices that she's just cranky all of a sudden, or there's an emotion that is displaying in a way that she cannot understand, she will try to trace it. And the truth is, we can always trace those emotions. It's just that we are not honest enough to say, this is why I am angry.
I feel like most of the times we already know.
Because sometimes it can be embarrassing. It can be very embarrassing. Why am I? You know, I can come to work this morning and I'm all cranky, and I'll probably say it's because somebody put the fuel can in front of the gate there. Meanwhile, it's probably because somebody on the road said, Auntie, why is your hair looking like this? I'm not making you think that it is this one. So once you're able to track and draw the line that this is really what's making you angry, and you're more honest with yourself, you'll be able to handle your internal thoughts better, so you can have better output to other people.
So if you were going to give an example of what management means, what's the one thing that you would do to manage self-emotions if you find yourself being cranky in the morning and then you have been able to trace it, that this is the actual cause of this thing, but now you still don't know how to get out of it? Knowing the problem is one thing.
You can talk yourself out of it.
So I go to the mirror and I'm like,
I go to the mirror, I'm
like,
you're strong.
You're strong.
No,
and if you don't believe you're strong, something's wrong with you.
I'm not talking of that
So
one.
tell me,
but you can talk yourself out of it.
I need you to tell me how.
For example, let me use the same example I just used. I come into work cranky, and I'm already putting it out on Okiki and God's beauty. I can just separate myself, take a stroll and walk and say, the reason you are angry, Oluchi, is because somebody said this to you, and your co-workers do not deserve this treatment that you are giving them. Manage this emotion. Saying it out loud is already sending some signals to your brain, and you see that when you come back, you're able to handle it properly.
So
talking to yourself is not a creepy thing.
I want to create a very crazy scenario.
Nobody's saying it is.
Sorry, please allow me to create this crazy scenario. So imagine that I find you talking to yourself out loud outside, and I come inside and I come and tell God's beauty, watch Oluchi, or something is going on. She's talking to herself, and then maybe out of care, God's beauty calls you to the corner and says, okay, is everything okay? I saw you, okay, said she saw you talking to yourself. And that sort of got you angry because, I mean, it took you a lot to talk yourself.
I don't know why you're thinking of different extremes, but I just remember, for very, for lighter sakes, I was talking to myself on the road one time, and one woman met me and said, are you going for choir rehearsals? And I said, no. You're talking to you, a fine girl to be doing all this. I felt so embarrassed. She probably thought I was mental. I'm like, it is not a strange thing to do. Of course, you should not make a scene out of it when you're speaking out loud. But you can murmur some things out so that your brain is very much aware. So,
I actually agree. So I think what would help you, because I know I do that talking a lot on the road. So what I think would help you is when you notice that it can be earpiece, or when you notice that people around you are singing, you can just change it from the talking to singing, because I did that too. Amen, someone I don't be singing. So you actually now think that, I'm singing or something, but I know I do the talking a whole lot. I think managing, I think we spoke about something close to this. Was it yesterday or so? I don't know why I'm always going back to yesterday and I'm not.
It's New Year's series. Everything is intertwined.
So I think one way is probably by staying quiet or by staying silent and all of these things. The truth is, when you made mention of the fact that, most of us don't know that, why we are actually angry. The truth is, we know. That's the truth. I don't know about any other person, but when I'm having, when I'm emotionally breaked or something, I know exactly what is causing it. So the problem now is, what do I do to get away from there? To leave that spot or that So it's simple. It's either just look for something that will distract you. That's why we talk about the writing mechanism. That's why you talk about listening to music, not music that will take you back, or music that would help you.
Music that will make you sad.
Because I know there was a time. No, let's be for real.
There was a time. It's a sad playlist. If you ask me to play you a very nice song that will get me dancing and happy, I will play you a sad song. But if you want me to sleep, just play Para Mara for me. I will sleep, because I'm like, what kind of boring song is this? So, well, we already mentioned one size fits all. It's not a one size fits all. So sad songs might get you thinking that I will not dwell in this thing. This thing that this song is saying, I will not do it. I will not suffer. I will not wallow in self-pity and all of that stuff. Meanwhile, maybe that's loud music might get you thinking that, this problem is never going to solve.
Maybe the opposite for me.
Yes, but now let's just talk about the role that social media can play in terms of physical, mental awareness, emotional awareness, even spiritual awareness. Where yesterday we spoke about something that I saw on a blog post where Pastor Adeboye said, or they reportedly said, Pastor Adeboye said about 2025 that a lot of people will not make it. So it's like, you have sort of tapped into my mental health and reduced it by maybe 5%. If I allow it affects me, that, okay, am I going to be part of people that will not make it this 2025? So what role do you think social media plays in terms of mental wellness, physical wellness, spiritual wellness, and even emotional awareness, especially?
Social media, I mean, it's not new thing that we know that it's a very toxic space, as much as it's a space that can give you all the opportunities that you want. Remember I said, I think Monday, I'm using your lines now. We need to have necessary breaks from social media. Necessary breaks. Very necessary breaks. And I'm going to employ it a lot in 2025. It's not every information that you throw at me that I'm going to pick. So I'm going to develop the ability to be able to sieve informations a lot. And I think you can help yourself. I don't know, maybe the algorithm and feed can work in your favor, where the most important things that you need will be what comes up regularly.
True.
Do you get it? And as much as possible, take breaks. If you take breaks, your business will still go on. And if you've gotten to a stage where your business is blooming, because some people give this excuse that, my work is social media, I cannot just take breaks like that. You can have people handle or manage your account. That space is really not somewhere somebody should be 24/7. You will be confused because some person that is very authoritative is saying this today, another person of same authority is saying another one today, and you are trying to figure yourself out in this 2025. There's already the pressure that comes with January. I hope you know that. At a point in my life, I used to say that this resolution thing, I'm not going to do it first week or second week January. The pressure is too much. Everybody's trying to act serious. Everybody's trying to act, this year, I'm going to be all put together. Sometimes you don't need all of those pressure. You really do not need it. And, different strokes for different people. So, as much as possible, take necessary breaks from social media. And you can reduce it. Some have a lot of social media handles that they're using. You are on Instagram, you're on TikTok very actively, you're on LinkedIn, you're on WhatsApp. So you are seeing somebody saying, I just got promoted, I just got this on LinkedIn. You're coming to Instagram to see couples terrorizing you. You're going to TikTok to see this one. Like, what exactly? You can reduce it. The ones that are very important for your business or whatever you do, just streamline it.
Okay, so what's your ideal? I think God's Beauty wants to say something, but I would like you to incorporate it into this. What's your ideal screen time limit? What do you think is a sensible screen time limit for any individual, whether busy, whether completely free, idle, whatever occupation? What's the ideal?
It's going to be a very dicey
one.
Very dicey one.
So this is what I would say. Speaking to the first question you asked, right? I think it's also a mindset thing. Because if you already put it in the back of your head that, okay, the reason why you're on the social media platform is for this, this, and this. You trust me, you'll be there for the main reasons why you're there. And guess what? You'll be out. So in as much as, it's of recent that I started taking social media a bit serious. And what am I going to do there? Put in if I'm posting something, I'm posting. If I'm commenting, I'm commenting. And I'm checking out, okay, all thanks to Gossip Girl, I'm checking out the latest stories. And once I know them, I am out.
Out of them.
Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't know, for people that, like she said, for people that, they have their businesses on social media and all, and they might not want to take those breaks. I think you should just have the right mindset. Once you have the right mindset, you're good to go. Because, the way you think in your heart, that's the way you're definitely going to lead. Do you get what I'm saying? So for me, I don't... And that's why when people say, there's pressure on social media, in as much as I get it, I somehow, I'm not one of those persons that will say that it gets to me. I see those things, but trust me, I dare here for the main reasons. Do you understand? I'm here for certain things. And
but you know that we are impressionable as humans. So in as much as you want to put on a metal suit to say pressure doesn't get to me, sometimes you might be blowing it overboard because we are impressionable as humans, and every human is a product of
just going to sit somewhere in your subconscious.
Exactly. You will not know when it will come out. You won't know when you eventually are wearing a particular color of clothes because you saw it on someone. So that's some sort of...
I need you to quickly tell me about, you need to answer ideal screen time. What's your own ideal screen time? In a whole day, how many hours do you think you would spend on?
Let me not use a specific, let me not use 5 hours. I can just give a range.
Okay.
We have 24 hours in a day.
Right.
I think maybe 5 to 7 hours. I don't know if that's too much. What do you think? 5 to 7 hours.
I think 5 hours for me. Yeah, because...
okay, he's like...
or even below that, actually.
Trust me. Anytime I get to hold the phone, I'm active. Oh yeah, I'm active. Sometimes I'm not even checking. The way social media works for me is that I'm not even checking messages. What I want to go and do is laugh or find something new to think about. So I'm like, okay.
and to send reels and torment some people.
Yes, exactly. I'll just check what's happening here. Forward. Oluchi,
Before you know,
take it.
2-3 hours have gone
it.
on a spot.
Yes. So I cannot say that, to be sincere with myself, I cannot say that I have this specific screen time limit. Like, even phones now come with helping you to create like a screen time limit where they will now tell you if you have spent this also number of hours, if you have set it that I want to spend 3 hours of screen time every day. If you have spent that number of hours, your phone will pop up like a notification to tell you that you have exhausted your 3 hours. So then you as human being will not go off it that I'm the one that use money to buy this phone. You will not tell me what to do. So I think that's one thing that you also, like you already mentioned earlier, that discipline and then awareness to know that if you really want to get your mind working, your physical awareness intact, you need to be disciplined enough to know that when there's a limit, there's a limit. So you have to stick to it. Like, lastly, I want us to quickly mention...
But I'm sorry, about that limiting, I don't know if developers can do this for us. So for people that will set limits and they will eventually still cancel it and go back. Can you do something with our phone where it will just go off or your internet will not work once you have passed your limit? Maybe that way, some people...
You're not serious at all.
Look at you. I think
they will now sell the phone for you 6 billion because obviously you that want your phone to off on its own. So let's quickly talk about self-care. I think self-care is like in so many ways, from compassion to kindness to this. A lot of people don't love themselves. Or a lot of people do not know that they do not love themselves because they do things that are like derogatory or that affects them, but they don't know. For example, eating causes beauty. The fact that you don't eat well.
Affect me? No.
You think so. That's why I said that sometimes you are not even aware that you are not being kind. Checkups that tell you that something you are lacking something.
That was before now. Now
okay, now you have changed.
Yes, now.
Okay, we'll see. We'll talk about this again mid-2025 so that you can tell me. We will not start submitting our health checkups so that I will know. But beyond health, what other things do you do that you feel that yes, I'm being kind to myself, I'm being compassionate with myself, not just with another person, maybe when you call or text the person. What was that? What's that thing? Because I think we have less than 1 minute left. So just tell me, what's that thing that you do to be kind to yourself?
Celebrate small wins and learn to spoil yourself, once
you don't have money.
Why? See, even if you don't have money, there's a way the small money you have can buy something that you really like. It can just be one chocolate or one sweet that... You just want to be a terror this morning. But I think just learn to... Because I notice... Anytime I make a new hair or I have new outfit, there's this thing that happens to my confidence. It goes to
high.
1,000 and I feel like talking to everybody because I've done something that makes me happy. So, I mean, this year I try to do that. I know we're going to save, Friday we're going to talk investments and savings and finance, but even at that, try to spoil yourself.
Okay, what about you guys, Beauty?
It's not bad.
I think self-care has always been my thing.
You are the queen of it now. You will soon see an next week now.
My thing, exactly. So I like to look a certain way. So I think it's stay with my name. The fact that I'm bearing a very unique name, I like to, look
Meet up
and
to
be
that
like,
name.
exactly. So for me, that's always been like that. My nails done, everything. My hair is on point. I will just, when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, okay, yes, I can actually say my name is God's Beauty and everybody has to
My name is God's Beauty.
Because I'm looking like that.
I'm the lady vibe.
I'm the lady vibe.
My name is Okikiola Taiwo Jaliko and I'm the girl vibe. Follow me on my Instagram.
You're so old for that. So give me Gen Alpha.
That for me, self-care for me is just buying things. I just want to buy things. Maybe I buy something new. I'm like, that girl.
Until I come down to tell you, oh my God.
This has been such an engaging conversation, and I believe that, our audience have learned something out of this conversation. Tomorrow we'll be talking about new relationships, what you want to do for the new year. Either you are keeping relationships together or you're helping yourself out. So do ensure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Osayome Saleh from Ways Primetime. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content unsubscribe to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?